Hello everyone, hope all of you are fine and healthy. Right dear students, as we are doing the unit pronouns these days, right? So in our previous video I taught you about, in my previous two videos I taught you about pronouns, their types, right? So the types which we have done till now is possessive, personal, indefinite pronouns, right? Now in today's video, I'll teach you about relative pronouns and demonstrative pronouns, right? So as we all know that as the name suggests, relative. Relative means to relate to something, right? So we use relative pronouns to connect phrase or clause to a noun or pronoun, right? We use them to connect a phrase or clause to a noun or pronoun, right? Now you must be wondering what is phrase or clause. It is very necessary to know them before we move to relative pronouns. Phrase and clause both are group of words, my dear student, right? Phrase is a word which does not have its own existence. It is just a group of words, right? It does not have subject, it does not have verb, so it does not convey an exact meaningful sentence, right? For example, my best friend, it is a group of words, right? My best friend, it is noun itself, but it does not have subject or verb, right? Same way, clause means subject plus verb. A clause has a subject plus verb, so it is more way a meaningful sentence, right? Sia slapped in the room. Sia is subject to her, slapped is verb. So this convey the more meaning, right? So phrases or clauses are group of words, right? So we need relative pronouns to add more information, right? To add more information or to connect phrases or phrase or clause to a noun or pronoun. To add more information, right? So it basically relate a phrase or clause to noun or pronoun. So in relative pronouns we have 5 types, right? Those are who, whom, which, whose, and that. These 5 are relative pronouns which we use to, connect a phrase or clause to a noun or pronoun. Now you must, even you can feel it when you join, when you try to recall these words that where we use them, you will be able to see that we use to join them, right? Now first I'll tell you where we use them, with whom, right? Suppose if we talk about who and whom, right? So who and whom are used to talk about people, right? As we all know, we are studying about pronouns, so it, as I told you that it connect phrase or clause to noun or pronoun. So pronoun means when we, a noun is when we talk about person, place, animal or thing, right? And pronoun is its replacement, right? So who and whom are used for people when we talk about people, so right? So our relative pronouns are used as a subject, an object, or a position, right? So they are used to show, or they are used as subject, object and possession. Now you must be thinking how we can use it as a subject, object or possession. So I'll tell you more about it, right? So let's talk about first who and whom, right? How we use them and where we use them, right? So I told you who and whom, right? Who is used as a for subject and whom is used for object, and both are used for people, right? I'll give you one example. The person who helped me last night is my neighbor, right? So who is our relative pronoun here. Now who helped me last night is my neighbor, the person, right? So this pronoun is used to connect this phrase to our main thing, right? Now let's talk about second sentence, that is whom. Now tell me the name of person, tell me the name of person whom you talk. Tell me the name of person whom you talk, right? So here whom is used, see this is our subject and we use relative pronoun to connect it. Now whom here, whom you talk, right? It is our object in the sentence and it is connecting it, right? So who and whom is clear that where we use them, they are used for people in a sentence. When we join a subject, we use who, and when we join an object, we use whom. Let's move further towards which. Right? A third relative pronoun which is used for animals and things, right? We use which for animals and things. We do not use them for human beings or person, right? For example, I don't know which pair of shoes you want, right? First we will see I don't know. It is a phrase, right? We are connecting it with this pair of shoes. Pair of shoes is thing, right? So we are using it to connect. So which pair of shoes, right? If it would have been who, so there would be a person, right? So which is used with thing. So pair of shoes is a thing. So which pair of shoes, right? Now let's talk about that, right? That is used for people, animal, things, everything, right? For example, no, not that glass, right? It is thing. Suppose if it would have been dog, not that dog, right? Or not that man. So we can use that with person, animal and things, right? Now let's talk about our last relative pronoun, that is whose. Beta, we use whose to show possession or ownership, right? To show possession or ownership, right? For example, I have a friend whose younger brother is annoying, right? So I have a friend whose younger brother. It is possession or ownership, right, of my friend. His younger brother, right? Whose younger brother? My friend's younger brother is annoying, right? So when we talk about a possession or ownership, we use a relative pronoun whose, right? So basically relative pronouns are those pronouns which we use to relate or which we use to connect our noun or pronoun to phrase or a clause, right? Now let's do our next pronoun, that is demonstrative. Demonstrative pronouns, right? Demonstrative comes from word demonstration, right? So demonstration means to point at something or to refer something, right? When we point at something or we refer to something, demonstration means to show, to explain something. So suppose if I say, this is my pen, this is my marker. So I am showing you, I am pointing it, I am referring to this marker, right? This is mine, right? So our demonstrative pronouns are this, that, these, those, such, and one, right? Let's talk about them. This and that are used in situation of singular, right? And these, those are used for plural. Singular means something which is one and plural means which is more than one, right? So this and that are used for singular, these and those are used for plural, right? Generally these four are our major demonstrative pronouns. These two are very rarely mentioned in our books and everywhere, but we'll talk about them, right? So let's talk about our major demonstrative pronouns. This, that, these, those. This, that is used for singular, these, those are used for plural, right? Now let's move ahead. Right? This and these, right? Let's categorize them. And that and those, right? Because this and these are used to refer to something which is near us, right? And that are those refer to something which is far, right? This something can be a person, place, animal, anything, right? Now I'll give you example. This is my marker, right? This marker is with me, very near to me, right? So this is my marker. That is Neha's house, right? It is not near me, but I can point it out that that is Neha's house, right? It is not near me, but I can see it and I can point it out at it that that is Neha's house, right? So this and that is clear. Now let's talk about plural forms. That is these and those. These, it is used for plural. So these are my clothes, right? They are near me, so these are my clothes, right? Those are electrical wires, right? That is not a single object. For example, marker is one, house is one, clothes more in number, right? There is more clothes, wires more than one, right? So now you know that how we use these and those, this and that in a sentence, right? Now let's talk about such and one, right? So such and let's talk one. Such is used to talk about a kind or type, right? When liar, right? We say this, look at him, such a liar. Or look at those students, they are such a foolish kind of behavior they are doing in a class, right? So we are referring to someone, we are referring to something, and we are pointing out it, but we are talking about kind and type, right? For example, if I say such a foolish person, right? We are talking about type of that person, that he is such a foolish person, right? 1. There is no exact definition of this one, dear students, but we can use them in Hindi as wala and wali. It is used to refer to that kind when we demonstrate, no, not this marker, that one, right? Sometimes we say, no, not this diary, that black one. So that one, this one is that one, this one, right? This is used to refer to these, right? Now these are the general uses or the general types of demonstrative pronouns, right? Suppose I'll give you one tricky question, right? Suppose the sentence is, I have a blue and a black pen. You can take, right? Now tell me what you will fill here. Just go through this sentence and try to find it out what you will write here and why. Just the moment you will find the answer, just find the reason as well why, right? All of you must be wondering, you can take this, right? But can't we use that here? Or can't we use these here? Right? How? Now, suppose if I am offering you, I have two pens, blue and black, right? Suppose I have this duster and I have this black pen. So, we are talking about this blue and black pen. If I am saying you that take black pen, right? If the subject, I am talking about the nearest subject, so I will use this. If I am saying, I am referring to blue pen, that take blue one, right? So then I will use that, because it is far from the, right? That is the far subject. And if I am referring to both, you can take both of them. Then in situation of both, I will use these, right? So students, I hope demonstrative and relative pronouns are clear to you. And if you have any doubt, you can contact me to clarify your doubts. After this, I'll give you one assignment to solve, in which I'll give you questions based on demonstrative as well as relative pronouns, right? In our next video, students will do reflexive and intensive and interrogative pronouns, and we'll wind up this pronouns chapter, right? Hope all of you are doing great and enjoying this, and keep enjoying. Take care of yourself and keep learning. Thank you, students.